Hi, Contractor John here, and today we're going to talk about drywall anchors. Okay, an often misunderstood area. People use the wrong types of anchors and the wrong materials, and then you get a failure. Okay, so let's talk about one such anchor. Whenever you buy a towel bar, toilet paper holder, whatever, you get these plastic anchors. I'm sure everybody's seen these plastic anchors, and there's a screw that goes into it like this. When you get these in that package, when you're going to hang your towel bar or something, I want you to take these, I want you to put them in your hand, and then I want you to throw them out, because they're not for drywall, okay? I know. But then why do they put them, why do they package them with it? Because they're cheap, and they gave you something, that's why. They won't work, they won't hold, and I bet you 90% of you guys out there know what I'm talking about. The towel bars, after a year, they get loose, the toilet paper holder falls off the wall. Don't use that. I'll show you a better way to do it. But let me show you what happens is when you use these types of anchors, let's just drill in here our little, you're going to drill a 1/4 inch hole, and then you're going to put this molly, this anchor, you're going to push that anchor in there, and you can tap it in, handle it with a screwdriver or a hammer or whatever. And then you're going to screw in this screw. And when you do that, what happens is it pushes the drywall, it pushes the plastic of the molly out against the side of the drywall. And it's held in there by friction. But what happens is the drywall, when you put that molly in there, it pushes the drywall, and the drywall will move, and it'll spread out. And it loosens this anchor. It lets this anchor get loose over time. Now, those anchors are great if you're going to use them in concrete or brick or cinder block. They work really, really great for that. So save those things. Don't throw them out. Put them in a bin or something, whatever, and use them if you got to drill in brick. You're going to put a mailbox on the side of your brick house or something. Use those mollies for that. Okay. So what I want you to use, and what I found is just the best anchor, are these type screw-in type anchors. It's got a point on the end. It's got some really, really coarse threads, and then where your screw goes in here, and they've got a cross in there for a Phillips screwdriver head. So what you're going to do is you're going to put that on your drill, just like that, and you're going to come up to the wall. You're going to, on your mark, and it's got a point so you can be right on the money. And you're just going to drill it, and it's going to go through, and it's going to stop when it's flush there. And then you're going to take your screw, and you're going to put your screw in here. Now, the part with this is, you can leave the screw head of these hang out a little bit. Because once that anchor's in the wall, it's tight, it's snug. Now, they do spread a little bit when you put the screw in there. But because of the threads, even when it spreads and the drywall gives a little bit, it still holds really, really well. You can use it, leave this hang out. You can hang pictures on here. Or whatever, knickknacks, whatever you can hang off of here. These small ones like this have about 50 pounds of pulling power before it'll fail. So they're really good for hanging pictures and things like that. Now, these are great, the plastic ones are great for drywall. If you're going to deal with plaster, I suggest you get these metal ones. Same shape, same everything else, except they're metal. Because if you try putting that plastic in a plaster wall, just because of the sand and the grit and everything they have in there, it'll wear that tip off, and it'll just wear it out, and it won't go anywhere, or it'll snap off. And you'll go through 2 or 3 of those trying to get it in a plaster wall, instead of just using the metal one. Same deal, and bingo, just like that. Now that one's a little bit bigger. That one I believe is 75 pounds rating on that. So, like I said, what those are good for and everything. Now you've got another set here. You've got a toggle bolt. And what that does, a toggle bolt, well, it's a different application. It's got 2 parts. It's got a screw, and then it's got the butterfly part. And you can see it in the inside here. You'll see the camera can pick up that little ring right in the center there. Okay, that's where this screw goes. So we're just going to slip this washer on right now. So you put the screw in that center and you screw her in there. If I could see it, it would be good. Now when you're doing that too, I want you to hold that butterfly level, because if you hold it off cockeyed, then the screw won't go up, because the screw has to come out the center of that toggle like that. And then I want you to test these things, because you'll get defective ones every once in a while. Butterflies in, and then let it go. Make sure they spring out. If they stick, throw the thing out. Because when you put it in the wall, behind the wall, you want it to spring out. You don't want one side, or you won't want it to stay like that, because then you're going to be jiggling and it's just going to pull right out. So if it doesn't spring, just throw it out and use another one. So what you're going to do for these, to install these, is you're going to take, hold it over, measure that, get a drill bit that's going to be as big as that, and then you're going to have to drill a bigger hole, a hole big enough for that butterfly to go through. And you're going to have to fold this over like this. Now don't thread this screw all the way through that, just get it through so that you've got enough thread. And then you're going to have to put it in that hole. Now, if you don't drill the hole big enough, what's going to happen is when you put that through there, you'll bend it a little bit and stuff, and then when it gets through, it won't pop and it won't hold. So you're going to push that through, take a little wiggle or whatever. And once it's in, you're going to pull it back and jiggle it a little bit, and that makes sure that the butterfly popped out. And then you have to kind of hold it, pull out a little bit you're screwing in, because you want that butterfly to be against the back of the drywall. So you just can do this with your hand is the best thing, or if you have a washer, you can hold the washer and then use your screwdriver, and you can screw these things in. You can screw this thing in. Now when you get down to the end of it here, you just keep going, and when you're doing, like I said, you're pulling out just a little bit. Now, these, unlike the other toggle here, you can't leave this hang out a little bit. It has to be drawn up tight to force that butterfly in the back of the drywall against the drywall. And that butterfly is big enough, it spreads the weight, the force of it against a bigger surface area, so that's why it holds much better. Now, these are really, you know, for toilet paper holders, towel dispensers, paper towel. I've used these anchors, these screw-in ones, and they work good. But 90% of the time I use these toggles, unless I can't. I like the toggles for that. Once you put this in, it's never coming loose. It just doesn't. Right? They're the best things for towel bars, because everybody just grabs them towels and yanks them. This is the best way to go, and you're not going to have to be redoing it. So, but then again, I said, now you have to have something here that you're going to pull against the drywall and keep it there tight, and that's how that's going to work then best. Now you have another type of anchor here. I don't know the name of this. I'm drawing a blank right now. This one is kind of like an engineering marvel. There's a lot going on here. It kind of looks like this one. I mean, it's got drill tip and everything. But what makes this one different, you can see this one's really heavy duty too, is it's got this screw here. And if the camera can see right here, there's a bevel. And what happens is when you screw your screw in there, your screw hits that bevel, and it starts to move that wing out. You see that wing fall down? And then this lines up with a threaded hole in this butterfly, and as you screw it in there, you can see now, right here, the screw come up there. And then it draws. And again, this one is going to have to be something that's drawn against the back of the drywall. Alright, so you just keep going with this, and it'll come right out the back here. Now you need a little more room. You're not going to use this on a 2x2 wall or something. You know, 2x4 wall, not a problem. You can use it. But so then you keep screwing this thing, and it draws this up against the back of the drywall. And this is going to hold, I don't know what the rating is, but it's substantial. There's a lot there. It's just big. So anyway, so that's all about drywall anchors. Just remember to buy the correct kind for what you're going to use it for, and you won't go wrong. This is Contractor John. If you have any issues around your house, any questions, please visit ContractorJohn.com. Have a blessed day.